Did you know you can get a free Istanbul city tour, or you can get to stay free in a 4-star hotel in Istanbul? You have heard that right, and there are no clickbaits. In the end of this video, I have explained how you can get that. Hello everyone, this is Farita, your favorite travel girl on your favorite travel channel. Today is my last day in Malta, and if you haven't watched the previous 3 episodes, I'm going to link them here so you guys can check it out. So this was technically my last day in Malta. Next day I had a flight back home. So I spoke to Supreme Tours again, who arranged a share pickup ride taxi for me for only 10 euros from Hostel to the airport, and I had to just tell them my time and it was all done. So I was in touch with them via WhatsApp. So but still keep some buffer because it's a public sharing and it's not a private cab. So you need to keep some time in hand because the next guests might take some time in coming and putting on in their luggage, etc. So I went in the cab with them, and it turned out that they were family whom we had seen each other on the previous day on the ship, and they were a Swiss family of mother, daughter and grandmother. We spoke a lot. I also met a lot of people from London the previous day. We spoke, we chilled with those girls and had some mocktails. After I reached the airport, so we had some conversation. So the grandmother was asking me in Swiss, and her daughter was being the translator for us, and she was telling us in English, asking that how did I find the Malta tour and 3 days that I was there. So it turns out that the Swiss were disappointed with Malta as a country and with the people, but whereas I really loved the people, the tours were so, but nothing to complain. It's a great country to visit. I had a flight, Turkish Airlines, from Malta to Istanbul, and 6 hours layover in Istanbul airport, and then Istanbul to Mumbai direct flight. The cost was around 40,000 rupees. There are not many cafe options in the airport, and definitely not a lot of vegetarian options. So carry food from supermarkets the previous day if you do not want to starve yourself. The boarding opens only 2 hours prior. I reached there 3.5 hours prior, and I killed my time there. These guys have dogs to sniff you out for bombs, a very different way. Unfortunately, there was no meals, vegetarian meals, flight from Malta to Istanbul. I had a layover for 6 hours, and I did not require any kind of transit visa or any other visa. I think one of the reasons could be that I already had a Schengen valid visa, so that was the reason. But other than that, I don't think any kind of visa was required. And Istanbul airport also, I struggled to get food, and everything was way too expensive. I got 1 6-inch Subway for 2,000 rupees. The employees at Subway were very rude, and they, instead of giving a 6-inch Subway, they were serving 3 inches Subway. They did not speak English, and obviously I don't know Turkish, so it got difficult to communicate, and there were charades involved. So I am okay with that, but I wasn't okay with the kind of rudeness that they displayed. So apart from charging a lot of money, so I paid 2,000 rupees INR for 6-inch Subway. So I had to take 3 inches one twice because I was very hungry. There are a lot of other options. There's Pide, and a lot of Turkish food is available. A lot of international chains are also available there. You can have it. They accepted euros, so I finished the leftover euros that I was carrying. But they also accept cards, USD, Turkish lira, and 2-3 other currencies, but INR was not one of them. So you need to have a debit and credit card activated for international transactions. The food court is extremely far from where you might have to board your flight from. It's almost a kilometer from the gates, and from where I had to board Mumbai Istanbul, there was just one juice vendor available, and I got one orange juice for 8 euros. That's freaking expensive. It's like 800 rupees. And so they have those lounge chairs in that area from where Mumbai to Istanbul flight is going to take off. It was relatively empty, and you can sleep there if you want, and there were also charging slots available. So hygiene, space wise, there were no issues. Just the people in food court were a little rude. There are so when you purchase your internet, the people who are going to help you out are in the central area where the food court is, and they have less human resource. There is one interactive kiosk available where you want to question or ask what is where. There'll be one lady on the other side, and she'll be answering your questions, which I found really fascinating. Istanbul airport also has sleeping pods, but they are very expensive. They charge around 120 euros or 220 euros for 4 hours only. So that's way too expensive. I rested, there were a lot of seating arrangements available, which was a commendable job done by them. And the charging slots also available. You have to pay for Wi-Fi, which is some 10 euros for 2 hours, and or 4 euros for 2 hours, and 9 euros for 6 hours or 24 hours. So you have to pay. There is no free Wi-Fi. You'll have to use your card. So they do not accept cash at Istanbul airport for Wi-Fi. So when you book Turkish Airlines, there is one very good facility that's available, is that if your layover is for say more than 9 hours or 12 hours, you can avail 2 free facilities. That is, one is there's this Istanbul tourist available, so you get a free city tour of Istanbul, but you need to have a valid visa. So on an Indian passport, if you have valid Schengen visa, you can fill the form for e-visa for 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, or even if you have a US visa, I think this works well. So you can get the tour of the city free of cost while you're waiting there. So maybe you can plan your layover accordingly. Secondly, so you have to choose between these two. So if not the city tour, you can also choose for a free hotel night stay in a 4-star hotel in Istanbul. But I think for this also you'll need a visa. I am going to link down the website below, so you guys can check out the latest updates, because this is as on April 2023. So do check the updates and write to them. They are very quick at replying to your responses for latest updates. If you guys have any other questions related to Istanbul airport layover, please feel free to ask me.